Welcome to our travel guide to India, designed especially for first-time visitors. India is a country that can be overwhelming and exciting at the same time. With so much diversity, culture, and history, it's important to have the right information to make the most of your trip. In this video, we'll cover everything you need to know before you embark on your journey to India, including visa requirements, health and safety tips, food, and more. So, whether you're a solo traveler, or traveling with family and friends, get ready for an adventure of a lifetime, as we take you through the essential information you need to know, to make your first trip to India a success. Let's get started. Number 1. Visa requirement. Many nationalities can obtain their visa online, through the official Indian e-visa website. It's a convenient way to apply for your visa, from the comfort of your own home. Make sure to check the visa requirements, for your country and plan accordingly. On the other hand, some nationalities may still need to apply for their visa in person rather than online. Number 2. Health and safety. India is a developing country, and while it's generally safe, it's important to take precautions to stay healthy and safe. Make sure you're up to date on your vaccinations, and take steps to protect yourself from diseases, like typhoid, and hepatitis A and B, and rabies. It's advisable to be cautious, when it comes to consuming street food. It's recommended to avoid eating street food in India, due to the risk of contamination, and foodborne illnesses. Do not drink tap water, and to opt for bottled water instead. When it comes to safety, it's advisable to exercise caution in crowded areas, and to be mindful of your personal belongings at all times. Number 3. Culture and customs. India is a land of diversity, and each region has its unique customs and traditions. It's advisable to do some research on the customs of the region you plan to visit, to avoid unintentionally offending anyone. For example, it's customary to remove your shoes when entering a temple or someone's home. Additionally, it's important to dress modestly, especially when visiting religious sites. Number 4. Transportation. India is a large country, and getting around can be a challenge. Consider hiring a driver, or using a travel agency to arrange transportation for you. If you're planning a longer journey in India, taking a train can be a great idea, and a unique experience. It allows you to see the beautiful landscapes, and experience the local culture in a way that you may not be able to from other forms of transportation. Number 5. Accommodation. India has a range of accommodations, from budget-friendly guest houses to luxury hotels. It's important to book your accommodation in advance, especially during peak tourist season. Number 6. Budget. India is a relatively inexpensive country, but it's still important to plan your budget carefully. Consider the cost of transportation, food, and activities when planning your trip. Number 7. Climate. India is a vast country, with diverse climates, from the tropical south to the Himalayan north. It's important to research the weather conditions in the areas you plan to visit, and pack accordingly. Number 8. Food. India is known for its delicious cuisine, but it can be quite different from what you're used to. If you have any dietary restrictions, it's a good idea to research restaurants beforehand, and carry snacks with you. Stick to restaurants and food stalls that appear to be clean and hygienic. Eat freshly cooked food, and avoid leftovers or reheated meals. Try vegetarian food options as they are widely available, and considered safe to consume. Be aware of the level of spiciness in Indian food, especially if you have a low tolerance for spicy food. Number 9. Avoid traveling alone at night. It's best to avoid traveling alone at night, especially if you're a solo traveler, or a female. It's always safer to arrange transportation through a reputable company, or to take a taxi. It's important to be mindful of your safety, especially when traveling alone at night. Here are some reasons why you should avoid traveling alone at night in India. India has a relatively high crime rate, and incidents of theft, robbery, and assault are not uncommon, especially at night. Many areas in India, particularly in rural areas, have inadequate lighting at night, making it difficult to see your surroundings clearly, and increasing the risk of accidents and incidents. Public transportation is limited at night in many areas, which can leave you stranded and vulnerable. In some parts of India, it's not considered safe or appropriate for women to travel alone at night, and it may draw unwanted attention. To ensure your safety while traveling in India, It's advisable to plan your transportation and activities during daylight hours, and to use licensed and reputable taxis, or transportation services if you do need to travel at night. It's also advisable to stay in well-lit, busy areas and to avoid poorly lit or deserted areas. Number 10. Bargaining. Bargaining is common in India, especially when shopping at markets. Here are some tips on how to bargain like a pro in India, so you can get the best deals on souvenirs, clothing, and other goods. Before you start bargaining, it's important to have an idea of the average price for the item you're interested in. Do some research online or ask locals for guidance on what a fair price should be. This way, you'll have a better idea of what to expect and won't be taken advantage of. When you're ready to bargain, start by offering a price significantly lower than the seller's initial asking price. Remember to always be polite and respectful, as bargaining is a common and expected practice in India. If the seller is offended by your initial offer, they may not be willing to continue the negotiation. If the seller isn't willing to come down to a price you're comfortable with, don't be afraid to walk away. Often, this will encourage the seller to lower their price to keep your business. If not, there are likely other sellers nearby who are willing to negotiate. Another tactic for getting a better deal is to bundle multiple purchases together. For example, if you're interested in buying a few items from the same seller, offer a lower price for the entire bundle. This can sometimes lead to a better deal overall. While bargaining can be fun and exciting, it's important to know when to stop. Don't push too hard or try to haggle too aggressively, as this can be seen as disrespectful. If you've reached a price that you're happy with, it's best to accept the deal and move on. So, these are some of the things you should consider before you visit India. With a little preparation and some cultural sensitivity, you're sure to have a fantastic trip. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more travel tips and destination guides. Until next time, happy travels.